Hello there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an unexplained phenomena video, the Mandela Effect. And for those of you who don't know anything about that, who are unfamiliar with that, let me explain. There is a phenomena where large percentages of the population misremember certain historical events, like movie lines, actual historical events, cartoon names, things like that. Specific details, they miss them, and it's not where one or two people are doing it. We're talking huge swaths of the population. It is a worldwide thing. We're talking 7.5 billion people, and say 40% of them misremember an event. It's ridiculous how many people, are not remembering what happened. And like I said, this effect is worldwide. It's called the Mandela Effect because it was discovered that many Americans remember news reports of Nelson Mandela having died in prison in the 1980s. Okay, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Nelson Mandela, he was a South African political figure, resistance figure. Depending on who you talk to, some people said he was a terrorist. I don't know. I'm not saying one way or the other there. My point is, he was they threw him in prison, and I don't know. I can't say I remember the news reports, but I seem to remember something about Nelson Mandela having died in prison in the 1980s. The problem is, he was freed from prison after apartheid was done, and I want to say he was elected to power in South Africa, and he just died recently of natural causes. So you see what I'm saying? It's to say serious, I guess, is a relative term. I guess it's serious for him because he didn't die in prison, which is yay for him. My point is, there's a lot of events in history that people misremember, and it's not that they misremember different details, different ways. Huge portions of the population misremember specific events in a specific way. I got some examples here. There's a popular children's cartoon called the Berenstain Bears. It's spelled Berenstain, S-T-A-I-N, and not S-T-E-I-N. Many people remember it spelled S-T-E-I-N. You see, they're not misremembering different spellings. It's all the same misremembering. Okay. Many people believe that Billy Graham died. Well, apparently he's still alive. Many people believe that the Queen song, We Are the Champions lyrics, the last line is, no time for losers because we are the champions. A lot of people think the last line is, of the world. And apparently that's not on there. I thought it was. Go figure. There's a cartoon called Curious George, and it's about a monkey. And many people remember him swinging from tree limbs from his tail. The problem is the monkey in Curious George never had a tail. I thought he did too. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of this stuff. Okay, one of my favorites, I saved this one for last as an example, and there's many other examples. Darth Vader's phrase in The Empire Strikes Back when he's talking to Luke and he's explaining, that he is Luke's father. The actual line is, "No, I am your father." Okay. Well, many people remember him saying, "Luke, I am your father." Okay. Minor little details like that, but it's amazing. It's just amazing, and nobody changed the film because this Mandela Effect has been going on long before they redid those movies. Because they did redo the movies, but the line didn't change. It's still the same. Okay, so when you hear about stuff like this Mandela Effect, you're thinking, well, that's just weird. Yeah, it's more than that. It's huge. Like 40% of the world's population has some of these misrememberings. And there's lots and lots of others, thousands of examples of this. A lot of people have discussed a lot of different possibilities for this. Parallel universes, and I touch on some of this with Parallel Universe Traveler, I think it was called, or something along those lines, where the guy landed in, I want to say it was Japan, and he had paperwork from a country that didn't exist, so they put him in a hotel room, and then he ended up disappearing from a guarded hotel room. Alternate dimensions, things like that. If there are such things as alternate dimensions, then theoretically some of the information from some of these other dimensions has been bleeding over. It is also possible, according to quantum physics, that people may sometimes transpose with their counterparts in these other dimensions. Because if there's another dimension that's exactly like ours, it stands to reason it's got to be populated by somebody. If we each have a duplicate in that other dimension and we once in a while switch places with them, yeah, we're going to misremember some stuff because the universes aren't exactly identical. You see what I'm saying? That's one theory. Another theory is a Matrix-style glitch. If you remember the movie The Matrix, where the entire world's population was stuck in those little canister things, they're being used as batteries or whatever the freaking thing was. But the world we lived in was a computer-generated hologram, for lack of a better word, like one of those holodecks off of Star Trek. Okay, and when there's a glitch, like deja vu or whatever, when there's a glitch, we misremember things. Oh, that's not the way that happened. That kind of thing. That's one possible theory, is that the entire universe is one of these computer-generated hologram things, and there's glitches because the programming isn't perfect. I don't know. The other theory that I heard that I liked, because this one to me is a little more sound, and I don't want to sound like I'm being a nutball or whatever, but Einstein did prove that time travel is possible. It is possible people are from the future are going back in time. When in the future they will theoretically have developed time travel. We are working on it now. I did a video on it. I also did a video about the layman's guide to temporal theory or whatever. Go check out my videos on that. The first one I think is a technophobe video on time travel. But the point is, theoretically somebody in the future will have developed time travel. If somebody's going back in time and changing events without meaning to, of course, little things, because you don't want to create temporal paradox. But if they are, of course, assumingly it's accidental, it'll be little details that have changed. And of course, we remember things wrong because we remember the way it was originally. These people have gone back and changed things, but then you look at the video, or like for example the Star Trek one, the Star Wars one rather. You look at it and you're thinking, well, that's not what he said. Well, yeah, we just heard it, but that's not what he said. That kind of thing. Berenstain Bears spelled differently. It could be temporal paradoxes. People go back and change stuff, and what do I know? I have no idea. But I know this Mandela Effect is a worldwide phenomena. I know it is being looked at by serious quantum physicists as a way of as a problem. Not a problem as in, oh my God, it's a problem, but as I wonder if we can figure that out. That kind of thing. So when people, if somebody doesn't remember things exactly the way you do, it may not be a lie, and it may not be a personal skew. You never know. It may be the Mandela Effect. Anyway, if anybody has any other ideas, stick them down in the comments. I'd love to read them. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.